everybody, it's Dave here from Franlung. So today, taking a look at athletes and when they break through at the CrossFit Games level. So just kind of curious going into the season or into the CrossFit Games, in what year do these athletes really show us their true potential and if they are contenders or not? So kind of what brought me here is, NFL, there's a lot of talk around breakthrough performances in the second year for wide receivers or the third year for quarterbacks, is that is really kind of the year that they're going to show us what their true potential is. So just kind of drawing parallels to CrossFit is kind of brought me the curious question of, in what year will an athlete show us that they do have podium potential or that they're a top 10 athlete within the CrossFit Games? So to take a look at that, started with all the athletes that have finished in the top 10 at the CrossFit Games since 27 or later. So using that as a sample size gives us 2 years of regionals, 2 years of sanctionals, and 2 years of semifinals under our belts. And from there, took a look at within their career and which year at their CrossFit Games did they make the top 10 for the first time. So our sample, it has athletes like Annie Thorsdottir, who's been competing since 2009. And her first top 10 performance was in her second year. And then it go looking at athletes like Emma Lawson, her rookie year is 2022, when she also made the top 10 for the first time. So really kind of a wide range of spectrum, but again, like really just looking at the athletes that have finished in the top 10 as the sport is a bit more mature and going from there. So our first bucket of athletes that made the top 10 in their rookie season. So this included 22 of the 56 athletes kind of within our sample size. So I think it's 39%, a little bit over that, of the athletes that made the top 10 have done so within their rookie campaign. So this includes, our GOATs like Matt Frazier, Tia Toomey, our current champ, Justin Medeiros, and then perennial favorites that we're always talking about. It's like Brent Fikowski, Pat Fellner, Noah Olson, Laura Horvath, Emma Lawson, obviously, Christy O'Connell. So those athletes that we just talk about every year of being top 10 or top 5, top 10 candidates, first showed up that way within their rookie campaign. And then moving on, the second big bucket of athletes is our sophomore group. So they made the top 10 within their second season. So maybe it was a little bit nerves the first year, just kind of gaining that confidence that they can hang with that elite group that they needed. But whatever the case is, another 22 athletes made their first top 10 within their second year at the CrossFit Games. So again, most notably, Annie Thorsdottir came back and I think within her second year made her first top 10. Another past champion, Ben Smith, his first top 10 appearance was in his second year at the CrossFit Games. But then you got a lot of the current stars like BKG, Chandler Smith, Jeffrey Adler, Jason Hopper, Sam Cornier, Saxon Panchik. So again, a lot of our very familiar names that will certainly be talked a lot about at the CrossFit Games as they compete kind of within that final heat appearance. They made their first top 10 appearance in their second season at the CrossFit Games, which, with 22 athletes making their first appearance in the rookie year, another 22 doing so in their second year, that's nearly 80% of the athletes from our sample there. So it certainly dwindled down a lot, and it's interesting to see, how heavily weighted the performances are within their first 2 years. So athletes definitely are most likely to show us they are top 10 level athletes within their first 2 years. But looking a little bit further down the road, there's certainly athletes that have built very successful careers or are in the middle of so who didn't break that top 10 level until their third year or later. So we got 6 athletes that did so in their third year. Most notably, Katrin Davidsdottir took the Fittest on Earth crown in her third year at the game after a 25th and a 30th-ish finish within her first 2 seasons. Bethany Flores, or Bethany Shadburn's another athlete that falls in this list. And another rising star, Gabrielle Magala, she didn't make the top 10 until her third year as well. So, very, very talented athletes that will, and all 3 of them will likely be in the top 10 conversation this year. From a fourth year perspective, there were 5 athletes that have broken into the top 10 in their fourth year at the CrossFit Games. So Kara Saunders and Kristen Holte, definitely towards the end of their kind of competitive careers, we talked a lot about just, being those perennial favorites, but don't think everybody realizes it did take them such a long time to get to that level. And Sam Quant, again, another person in there that he had his breakthrough performance at the 2022 or 2020 games. But again, that was his 4th year at the games, which again, most people forget now that we've seen him with that performance as well as in 2022. And then one athlete has broken through in their 5th year, which is Turi Helgadottir. It is her only top 10 performance at the game, so it might be kind of a bit of an anomaly amongst the group. But again, like 5 years, but she did break the top 10 then. So it is interesting to see how heavily awaited these athlete performances are to their first 2 years. It seems within CrossFit, the breakthrough is making it to the games, and once it's there, if you're a top 10 athlete, you're going to tell us within your top 2 year, as nearly 80% of the athletes we found here did so within their first couple of years. So it will be interesting, especially when you have an athlete like Ellie Turner. She's probably the most notable athlete entering her 3rd year who does not have a top 10 performance at the CrossFit Games. Obviously, her 4th place finish at Rogue in the fall shows us that she does have that potential, but looking at here, with nearly 80% of the athletes who made the top 10 in their careers have done so in their first couple of years, statistics aren't really on her side. So really interesting to see. You also got like Emmetall is entering her 3rd year. Jay Crouch, this is his 4th year at the game. So all looking to do a breakthrough, but it'll be interesting to see if they are able to crack that top 10 or not. Then you also got athletes like Emma Carey, so she's in her 2nd year. Definitely after winning North America East, she's a likely favorite for the top 10. We'll see if she's able to hit that milestone this year. And then, so you got some very notable rookies like Olivia Kerstetter, James Sprague, some of the younger athletes that are looking to break through this year. Will they make it in the top 10 their first year? Like rookies last year, like Alexis Raptis or Emma Lawson. So interesting to see. It'll be fun to watch as we go through to the CrossFit Games. And with that, thanks for listening or thanks for watching here. If you do like the content we are putting out on Franlung Analytics, please follow us on Instagram at Franlung Analytics. If you do want to dive into any stats on your own, take a look at franlung.com. We have 160 or over 160 elite competition results on the site there, full competition results from over 6,000 athletes, especially the CrossFit Games athletes there. So if you're curious of digging into more, take a look there. And then again, if you like this content, like, subscribe, and tell a friend. The more people out there who we can spread this message to, the better. Get everybody a little bit more known in the sport. So with that, thank you and have a great day.